Hey everybody, real estate coach Craig Proctor. Sorry I'm a little bit late getting started here. But today we're going to talk about something big. How to scale your business like millionaire real estate agents. And well, that might seem far-fetched right now for some of you, and maybe you're struggling. There is a formula to this. They say success leaves clues. So I'm going to give you some clues here today from not only what I've done, but what millionaire agents are doing right now today to be highly successful. It starts off with you having really an attitude that you've got to be pushing against industry norms. Take a look, a good clue of what not to do. Take a look around at what all the other agents, the legions of other agents are doing, these industry norms, and start to push back against that. The real secret to becoming a millionaire agent, you ready for this? It's not being an agent at all. You're saying, well, what are you saying here, Craig Proctor? Are you saying the way to make millions of dollars a year being an agent is to not be an agent? Yeah, pretty much. You're going to transition from being a real estate agent to an enterprise, not necessarily a business in the beginning, but eventually it's going to be a team. Okay, now you might not know how to do this. Maybe you do. Maybe you're like partly through this process. You got a couple of people working for you. But I'm going to lay out how I did it. And by the way, I knew nothing when I got into real estate, okay? Never sold anything in my life, never had people working for me before. I'd failed at a whole bunch of things. And I needed to figure out how to make real estate work. So check in if you haven't already checked in. Let us know that you're with us here today, and we will get started here. And we're talking about how Craig Proctor goes from a nobody in real estate, okay, never sold anything, no experience at all, to become the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world within 36 months of having my real estate license. Now, here's the crazy part about this. I've shown thousands of other agents how to do what I did. And I still do this today, right? So many of the top real estate agents all over the United States and Canada, I coach them. I show them the formula for how to do this. There is a formula how to do this. Step #1 is your mental state here, okay? We call this your paradigm. You've got to start thinking differently about your real estate business. You've got to, first of all, understand most of you ain't got a business. You've got a job. It's not even a great job because you're on call 7 days a week. You don't know where your next customer is going to come from. You got to do things you don't like cold calling, door knocking, sitting in open houses. That's the stuff they teach you to do. And guess what? That's what I did when I first got into the real estate business. I simply copied all the things they told me to do, right? Door knocking, cold calling, sitting in open houses, and I was failing in that first year. Well, I couldn't afford to fail. I had no plan B, so I had to figure out how to make real estate work for Craig Proctor. So what did I do? Here's what I did. I started to study other businesses outside of real estate. I started to study lawyers and doctors and other professionals. I went to conferences about marketing. I wanted to educate myself. And I came upon a conference that was all about something called direct response marketing. I'm like, what the hell is direct response marketing? The only marketing that I knew is I take a glamour picture of myself next to somebody else's BMW. I actually did that. It was my broker's BMW or Mercedes, whatever it was. And my broker told me to do this. He's like, go out and get a picture of you next to the car. And then I went in the middle of a cornfield and they took a picture of me, Craig Proctor. You know, he's #1 in his field or some corny stuff. That's what they told me to do. Who was I to question? So I did all this dumb stuff, didn't make any money. But I go to this marketing conference and I get edumacated, okay? I'm starting to understand that I'm the only real estate agent out of hundreds of people in this marketing conference, this direct response marketing conference. I'm beside a lawyer, a guy that owns in Dallas, Texas, he owns this great big swimming pool company. And what I understood is all these successful businesses were successful because they had the ability to offer things to the public to get prospects to call them. There was no cold calling, there was no door knocking. So I'm like pretty interested in this. I'm like, you're telling me that there's all these industries outside of real estate where cold calling and door knocking and begging for business doesn't exist? That I could reverse this? I could reverse the prospecting process. I could actually learn how to offer things to buyers and sellers that they really, really want to get them to call me. Well, guess what? I get back from the conference and that's exactly what I start doing. I made that one change. You heard the story. I go from as dumb as a pile of rocks to the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. And I kept being the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. Okay, so what happens now? Right now, you go, okay, that's great for you, Craig, but how does this apply to me? I can show you how I did this. You might be asking, well, what stuff do you offer? How does that work? How do we do it today on social media with smart modern marketing? We've got that all figured out. Here was the next problem I had. So problem #1, I ain't got no customers. I don't have enough customers. I'm chasing people just like you. I'm doing all the dumb stuff they tell us to do. I got to work with everybody. I got to work with people that are rude, people that are unqualified. I'm desperate. Now I got all this business coming at me. I get to pick and choose. How good's that? I could not physically work with all the buyers and sellers. Couldn't work. What would you do? If that was you and you couldn't work with all the buyers and sellers, you would do what I started to do. Pick and choose. I had now the luxury of choice. That's why I was able to make so much money. I could work now, spend my time with the most qualified, the most sincere, the most ready to act buyers and sellers. That's exactly what I did. Boom, #1 in the world for RE/MAX. I get to this point though, and I'm a young guy, hell of a lot younger than I am now. We're talking this 25 years ago. I'm a young guy and I'm working 7 days a week. And eventually, young, old, whatever, you get tired of working 7 days a week. So this was my new problem. I cracked the code on marketing, but I had such an overflow of business, I couldn't handle all the business. The way I was handling it may be the way you're handling it right now, just working all the time. I promise you that gets old eventually. So I was the first real estate agent in North America, this is way back in the 1980s, to hire a licensed agent to come and split the business up with, right? I took all the listings, they took the buyers, nobody else was doing that. Broker owners had agents working for them, but never did an agent. Remember, I've never been a broker owner. I worked at RE/MAX my entire career. So technically these people I was bringing on were working for RE/MAX. They were working for RE/MAX, but with me. First lady that I recruited, I met her at an offer presentation. She'd only been in the real estate business for 1 year. Okay, making no money, struggling, good person though, and I'm complaining about how hard I'm working. It takes a woman to figure this out. She goes, well, why don't I just come and work with you and you can give me the overflow business that you can't handle. Genius, right? So I handle it. I hire her. The first year with me, she makes $250,000 for her, but also $250,000 for me. Now remember, this is back in the 1980s when $250,000 was a lot of money. The next year she makes over 300. That means she made 300 for me. This lady, her name was Lindy. I paid her $6 million, which means, do the math, I got the other half. I made $6 million. She was with me for many, many years. She made $6 million. I made $6 million. Now, eventually, Lindy comes into the office after about a year and a half, hair's all over the place. She's like, oh my God, I can't do this. She was overwhelmed. Okay, we got to hire somebody else. So we hire another Lindy, and I got a whole bunch of agents. So eventually, I'm making $6 million from this one and that one and this one and this one. Guys, I sold 10,000 homes, and most of the homes eventually were not being sold by me. Here's what I'm able to do. Now, here's the proof that I developed a real system in a real business, because there's a lot of bullshit going on about this, right? I was able to move from my home marketplace here in Toronto, Canada. I was able to move to Florida, okay? And I did that in 2000. I bought the house in 2010 or 2000, around there. That's when we moved down, 2010, to Sarasota, Florida. Lived on an island. My kids went to school there. We lived there for 3 years. And I remember the first year that I lived in Florida, I was named the #1 RE/MAX agent in all of Canada, and I wasn't even in the country. What proof do you need that that's a real business, right? It allowed me to live my heart's desire, to live my real estate business, served my life. It made my life better. That's what I want for you guys. How many of you got into real estate? You're like, oh my God, this is going to be great. I'm going to have all this freedom, right? I get rid of the boss. And then you realize that you're working for you, a lunatic, right? Because you've got the great joy of working 7 days a week. How many of you, when you start to get successful, have given up all of your freedom in this business? Hang with Craig Proctor and I'll show you how to do it. So step number one, we got to have you a lead generation system that really works. Not doing the stuff you're doing, not buying leads from Zillow. They ain't picking up the phone, right? They're not picking up the phone. That's what you've been trained to do. Well, I generate these leads, or I buy all these leads, and you call 100 of them. You call 100 of these leads, and you get 2 or 3 on the phone. And what do they say to you? They say, I'm not interested. I didn't do that. Someone was playing with my phone. Now, what you've been led to believe is you've got to talk to them on the phone to tell them what you got, right? You got to, well, here's who I am, and this is what I've got, and this is what I do. And then you try to meet with them to get the listing, or get to, tell them all your services. You don't need to do that. We show you now how to create video and do a presentation and convince them without having to speak to them on the phone or meet with them at the kitchen table. You can show them what you do and why they should hire you. You want to know some proof? I'm doing that to you right now. Right now, I'm giving you a pretty good presentation. I didn't call you. This didn't cost me any money at all. I don't have to sit at your kitchen table to tell you about Craig Proctor and what we do. So the proof is in the pudding here, folks. We teach you effective marketing. Nobody knows how to do this, guys. This is why Craig Proctor has created more millionaire agents than any other coach or trainer or guru. Now, the leads come in. How are you going to handle all the leads? If all this works, okay, if I'm telling you the truth and all this works, you got all this business coming in the beginning, you're going to try to solve the problem with just you. And that's exactly what you should do in the beginning. Do as much as you can. You don't want to split any commission unnecessarily. But when you get to the point of overload, right? You've got business overflowing. You can't handle it all. I teach you how to recruit, hire, and train and manage other agents that will come and work with you. They don't have to work technically for you. If you're not a broker owner, that's okay. I never wanted to be a broker. They say brokers get broker and broker. And guess what? I made all the money at RE/MAX. I was happy with this arrangement. So now we got to train these agents to do it by the book. So I give you the system. Okay, let's just say I give you the system. You and I hang out and I show you how all this works. Now I teach it to you, then you teach it to them. Now, if they start making a lot of money, guess what? They're never going to leave you. Okay, Lindy stayed with me for 20 years. Stayed with me for a long, long time. The reason agents come and leave is because they think the grass is greener on the other side. They think they can make more money without you. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Now, we need to get good people because you're going to spend time training and coaching them up. I teach you, then you teach them. And now we got the marketing coming in and the leads are being followed up with these videos of you. I teach you what to say in the video. Like you know what to say when you're in front of a buyer, right? You would say that to me. Well, Craig, I'm not an idiot. I know what to say when I'm in front of a buyer. I know what to say when I'm in front of a seller. Great. Let's take it and put it on video. Not a half an hour video, like 5 minutes. It's like, hey, this is Craig Proctor. I'm with RE/MAX. This is what I do. This is what makes me different and better. These are my services. The kind of stuff that you would say if you were talking on the phone. But remember, you can't talk to them on the phone. There ain't no picking up the phone. That is how the behavior of the prospects has massively changed over the last couple of years. They used to pick up the phone. Now they won't pick up the phone. What did the pandemic teach us? They don't want to meet with any. Don't have anybody at your house. So this whole idea that, sellers, they want us to come over to their home and explain our services and interview a bunch of agents. Nope. The listing is being won or lost online. So you take this video, what are you going to do with the video? You're going to put it everywhere. First thing you're going to do is email your unconverted leads. You probably got a ton of leads in your database that you've never been able to speak to. There's your proof right there. You spend all this money on leads, you call them, you can't get them, they go into your CRM, never to be spoken to again. So we send out an email, and attached to the email, it's got a great subject line, the right copy. It causes them to read the email, click on the video, and now they get to hear your presentation. And now we're going to retarget them so they feel like they get to know you, right? Just like you are getting to know me, right? How many of you have watched my stuff before and you just keep getting it and getting it? That's on purpose, right? Well, we're going to teach you how to do the same thing. If this is making sense, please smash the like button or smash the little heart button there. Let me know that this makes sense to you, right? that there probably is a better approach. And if you keep doing what you're doing right now, you're probably just going to keep getting the same results, and that's very frustrating. So smash the like button. And also, if you have not checked in, please do so. Let me know the marketplace that you serve. I'm in Vancouver. I'm in Toronto. I'm in Miami. Let us know, because we get lots of referrals here. And I've got information that I can send out. If you want a special report on what we're talking about today, I've put a report together. Drop your email address into the comments here, and I'll send you some information for free, no obligation. We're not going to call you, hound you. I don't need to do that anymore because I figured out reverse prospecting, right? I get you guys to come to me. I get you guys to want what I offer because I offer good stuff. So drop your email address in and we'll send you out the information. Everything I'm doing right now to get you to pay attention to me, to create value in what I do, this is what you're going to do. Isn't this the positive proof that you need this actually works? What better proof is there than you're watching this right now? That I compelled you to watch this, and what I'm talking about is making sense. Who's coaching you right now? Honest to God, who's coaching you right now? Did they sell 10,000 homes like I did? Were they the top agent in the world for Remax? No, most of the people giving advice have no business giving advice. There's lots of advice, but a lot of bad advice out there. If I want to learn how to play golf, I want to learn from somebody that's a good golfer, not somebody that read a book on golf or watches golf on TV. You've got to get coached up on how to do this properly. Step number 1, lead generation system. Step number 2, conversion system. Step number 3, presentation system. I promise you, when all 3 of those are working, boom, you've got an overflow of business. Right? Be careful what you wish for. You got all this business. Now you need people. You need a team system building people. If you don't have the right people, this thing crashes, right? How many of you have tried to hire people before and you've hired the wrong people and you're like, team schmeem, this thing doesn't work. Been there, tried it. Of course, you didn't do it right. Okay, you didn't do it right. It's highly possible for you to hire the wrong people. This thing doesn't work. You become frustrated. You say, the hell with the team. I never really wanted a team. I'm just going to go get rid of all my team members. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to be a control freak and work 7 days a week for the rest of my life. Guys, what's your option? You either have a job for the rest of your life where you're working all the time, and the only way you can make more money is you trading more of your life for money, or you put systems and people in place of you. And I promise you, when you put the systems and the people in place of you, you'll make far more money than you could ever make just yourself working 7 days a week. Now, if this is making sense to you, I want to offer you something. Would you like to talk to us about this? Would you like to know how to get started with this? It costs $0 to get some information on how you can start doing this in your business right now. If someone could type into the comments below, proctorcall.com, proctorcall.com. So my name, Proctor Call, no space, proctorcall.com. That's a clickable link. You can book yourself a breakthrough call with my team and I, okay? And we will spend 45 minutes. We'll ask you a whole bunch of questions about your business, what you're doing, why you're doing it that way, what you've tried, what's working, what's not working, and we'll give you some ideas on how to get started. Why do we do this? Why do I do this free training online? I do it because the easiest way for me to prove to you that I can help you is just to start helping you. Does that make sense? If I just pay it forward and I just give you helpful advice and you follow my advice and it starts to work, you're probably going to think, you know what, Craig Proctor is somebody that probably really cares. He's probably somebody that can help me in my business. And that's exactly what I want to do. But that's also what you want to do with your community. You want to be the source of great information. Your buyers and sellers have all kinds of questions about real estate. Now, here's the good news. You have the answers. You're a good agent, right? But just because you're a great real estate agent doesn't mean you're going to be a successful agent. You know what I'm saying? You can be good at the technical parts of it. Just like there's lots of great restaurants with good food and good service that go out of business every year because they're in a bad location or they've got bad marketing. And then there's another restaurant on the other side of town where the food's not even that great, the service sucks, but they've got great marketing and they stay in business for years. You see, this is what we believe. This is what I believed when we get into real estate. Well, you know, if I know all the rules and I work hard and I really care about my customers and I do a great job for them, that should be enough, right? No, we need to let the world know about your greatness. Guys, hang out with Craig Proctor. I want to help you. Nobody wants you to succeed in real estate more than Craig Proctor. I've been on a mission now for the last 25 years to share what happened to me. I'm good. I don't need anything from you at all. Okay, real estate is help me live my dreams, my heart's desire. The house in Florida, on the island, with the boat, my living in paradise while I'm making millions and millions of dollars. Now, this is transferable to you. Do you know that since that time, I've helped thousands and thousands of agents do what I'm doing? Google a few of these names. One of my clients, his name is Nathan Clark. He's in Rhode Island. He's the top agent in Rhode Island. He makes about $6 million in gross commission income. Not in volume. He didn't sell a $6 million home. I'm talking he brings home $6 million in gross commission income. Okay? Tracy King. Tracy King is in Tennessee. Same thing, makes about $5 or $6 million in commission income. Okay? I have agents all over the Canada, the United States. And by the way, we're getting together on April the 3rd for a conference. If you would like information on that conference, just go to my website, craigproctor.com, and you can register and attend that. So I got a couple things for you. First of all, I've got information. I've got this free report that you can order by dropping in your email address. We're going to send you out the information that talks about, summarizes what we've talked about here today. Then, if you're really motivated, you like this, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to book a free call with Craig. What's the downside? It's free. Is he going to make me buy something? No, I don't need to make you buy anything. I'm going to show you how this works. And if you're interested, you're going to do something. If you're not interested, just keep doing what you're doing now, right? There's no downside, only upside to exploring opportunities. Okay. I've got the track record as both a real estate agent and a real estate coach that no other coach, trainer, guru, whatever you want to call them, nobody else has this track record here. So book yourself a call. Go to proctorcall.com. Book yourself a time. I'm in a new book, by the way. There's a new book that just came out from one of my mentors, Dan Kennedy. It's called Your Guide to Succeeding in Business by Breaking All the Rules. Okay, so I've got a chapter in here on how I broke rules inside of real estate. I've told you about some of the rules that I broke. Everybody else does image advertising, cold calling, door knocking. I break all those rules. I start implementing the first one to implement direct response marketing. All the other agents work as a solo agent. I hire a team. Everybody else toils in real estate, working 7 days a week. I'm able to move to Florida and live on an island, right? Everything that they tell us to do, all these industry norms, okay? I was the first agent to use buyer agency contracts before we had buyer agency contracts. I was the first agent to start offering 0 on MLS in the co-op field for the buyer. And oh my God, the flack I got from all the other agents, well, guess what? I was right the entire time, okay? The buyer needs to learn how to negotiate their own fee directly from the buyer. Why are you making my seller pay for your services? My seller is not deriving any benefit from the buyer agent. The buyer agent's working against the best interests of my seller. You hang with Craig Proctor, you will be years and years and years ahead of the industry. There's another thing, a resource that you guys can get. I wrote a book here. Don't know if I have it, but you can find it on Amazon. Okay, it's called The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent. Okay, write that down or someone type that into comments below. The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent and the Rise of the Super Profitable Sales Team. I'm not here to pitch you a book. That's why I only have this other book here because it was sitting. But go to Amazon and buy the book, The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent and the Rise of the Super Profitable Sales Team. Now, this book was written many years ago, but all of these predictions that I've had, now I want you to read the book and say, you can't say the guy wasn't right. Okay, I was right about all this stuff. I was right about there will be no commission paid to the buyer agent through MLS. In fact, there may not be an MLS. What's an MLS? The definition of an MLS. An MLS is a commission sharing portal. Well, what's recently been decided? We're not allowed to share the commission. Well, if there's no commission sharing allowed, why do we need an MLS? Why do we need a commission sharing portal? So lots of stuff happening here. You guys can be at the front of the line here. You can get all the information and be ahead of everybody else. I've made it my job to be light years ahead of everybody else, and that's why you want to hang with Craig Proctor. So did you enjoy this today? Let me know in the comments if you found this extremely helpful. If you found this extremely helpful, please check in. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts on this commission lawsuit, all the changes that are happening. Would you like to run your real estate business as a real business? Or do you still want it to be a job? Okay, do you want to limit your income by just the way you're doing it now? Or would you like to learn what the top agents in the country are doing? I was working less hours, making $4 million in GCI than I was making 100 grand by myself. Let me repeat, I was working less hours with my team. Now I know you're like, oh, well, you had to split the commission. Okay, so I made $4 million. Let's say I had to give half to the team. I'm still making $2 million. When I was working by myself, the most I could ever make was $100,000. And I'm working 7 days a week. What do you guys think is better? Working 7 days a week, Craig is a solo agent working 7 days a week to make $100,000 a year killing myself, or the team in Craig making $4 million in GCI. Yes, I pay half to the team because they're doing the work, but I still net $2 million out of the $4 million, and I'm living in Florida on the beach with my boat. What would you rather do? I can tell you one thing. Living on the beach with the boat is a lot more duplicatable. I can do that a lot of years. I can sit in the beach for a long, long time, but working 7 days a week as an agent, year in and year out, no, that's tiring. Okay, you'll get tired of that. You're doing the sprint. It's hard to do the marathon. Have you ever asked yourself, is there a better way of doing this? You're lucky you found this here today, because this might be your day to start learning about a better approach in your business. I didn't say a better agent. You guys are already great agents. You're great agents. You just need the marketing system, the conversion system, the presentation system, and the recruiting, hiring, teams building system. That's called the Craig Proctor system. It's been around for 25 years. It's proven. It's created more millionaire agents than any other coach or trainer. If you guys want more information, drop your email in here today. Book your call at proctorcall.com and leave us your comments. Remember, smash the like button, or a nice little heart would be nice. That would be great feedback. So thank you so much for being with me today. I hope you guys found this extremely helpful. But let me know in the comments below, and we'll see you all next time. Take care. Have yourself a great day. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're gonna see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's gonna let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.